What is up, everybody? It is this week's best MMA bets. We're talking about UFC Vegas 41 and Bellator 269. Both are pretty decent cards. Looking forward to doing the betting breakdown for both. So, guys, smash that like button. Give me at least 115 likes on this week's best MMA bets. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe as well. Turn those post notifications on. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the UFC first. Some of the locks of the night over at the UFC. So I'm feeling like lock number one, somebody I'm liking, is Jai Herbert. I really feel like Kama Worthy's chin is deteriorated. Stylistically, it's a good matchup for Jai. He's the first lock of the week for the UFC. Minus 175 to plus 161. I like that minus 175 tag. And I also think Herbert is going to knock him out here. Herbert, KO, TKO, plus 125. Decent play. Gives you plus money. Not a ton coming at you, but still's a plus money bet here. Now, the next of our locks for the UFC, I like Grant Dawson. He fights Rick Glenn. It's not an easy fight. Rick Glenn, experienced guy, good striking game, decent grappler, but I feel like Dawson's going to overwhelm him. Lots of forward pressure, putting him against the cage, takedowns, his usual game. It's going to be a Grant Dawson performance. The odds aren't great, minus 350, plus 319. I'm thinking we're going 3 rounds, though. I think Dawson wins a decision. Majority of his wins are by decision. If he was to win a decision, at best value, you can find it at that plus 215 tag, but more so around that plus 115, upwards of plus 140 range. Still good plus money. Another lock of the week. I'm really liking Grant Dawson here. Now, the next of our locks of the week, I am feeling Tabitha Ricci in this spot versus Maria Oliveira. I do think she'll work towards getting a W here. She's a minus 240 favorite to a plus 216 underdog. I think another decision fight. We're probably going 3 rounds. Ricci wins a decision. Plus 195 for that. Decent value there. Not terrible, not fantastic, but decent. I like Tabitha Ricci on our third of the locks of the night. Now, I will jump to Bellator in just a moment, but I want to see if I wrote down any special notes that we want to put here. There is, I guess, technically one more of the less confident locks of the night, but I do like Jessica Rose Clark a lot against Jocelyn Edwards. So Rose Clark, she's a minus 140 favorite to that plus 138 dog. Don't love the method bet there, but I am leaning decision for Clark. It'd be at plus 140 at best value. If Clark got a TKO, it'd be plus 700. I think Jessica Rose Clark gets the W in this one. Minus 140 is actually a pretty good money line bet. But let's jump over to Bellator. If you haven't yet, smash that like button. Now, some Bellator locks of the night. So the first of our locks of the night, I got to give it to Kirill Sidolinikov, aka Baby Fedor, minus 276, plus 234. Unfortunately, not all the props yet, so make sure you tune into that Bellator weigh-in recap show where we will deep dive the Bellator props, because right now, not available, unfortunately. At least they are for the main card, though, so that's a good thing. They might not even be released for the undercard. I guess we'll see. I like Sidolinikov. I like him to win by TKO in this fight against Rob Truesdale. Minus 276 for him. Another lock that I like a lot here is Anatoly Tokov versus Shafarov. I feel like Tokov's game is going to be a little bit of a different level for his opponent, Sharaf, there. Decision leaning. It's on the main card, so there is potentially a prop, minus 485, plus 415. Tokov could end up winning, by a late stoppage, but really leaning more so decision. Tokov wins by decision, plus 220. Decent value right there at that plus 220 tag for Tokov by a decision, but exciting matchup nonetheless. And I think this next one's going to be the most obvious one, Usman Nurmagomedov. Minus 2,500. At best value, it's minus 1,888. He's a huge favorite over Patrick Pitelia. It's not even close here. It's disgustingly widespread. Nurmagomedov KO TKO is actually at minus 200. I do expect him to win by that method. Value betting wise, it's not fantastic, but I do see him getting it done by a stoppage, probably in the first round. Let's jump up to the UFC again. Now let's talk about some underdogs with UFC, the dogs of the night portion of this video. Now, for the UFC, My first dog of the night. I like Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres over Sung Woo Choi. Not an easy fight, but it's a dog that has cashed a lot in the past, and I do think he can get it done here. Plus 246 tag, minus 274, minus 270 at best value for Choi, the favorite. I think decision, Caceres, that's upwards of plus 445. I like Bruce Leroy in this spot. Good underdog play. The next underdog that I'm liking, especially this stylistic matchup, Ike. I like Ike Villanueva over Nick Nagaramu. He's a plus 194 underdog at best value to the minus 210 favorite Nagaramu. I'm liking Ike. I like Ike a lot here. KO TKO, without a doubt, would be his method of victory. Plus 285. Powerful striker. A guy that likes to brawl in Nagaramu. This is the perfect matchup for Ike to actually land some big shots because even though Nagaramu taller, he's not a guy that fights on the outside. He likes to get close. He gets countered. He gets cracked. He gets put down. I think Ike wins it. And now, the next of our dogs of the night, Daniel Lacerda, plus 147, minus 154, Jeff Molina. Damn competitive matchup. Not an easy one, but I do think there's possibility of victory, a high possibility for Lacerda. Looking at the method, I would really lean late TKO or decision. It's plus 850 for that KO TKO. Decision plus 475. Personally, though, I mean, you can get some good value for plus 147 and just bet at money line. But if you want to prop it up, maybe sprinkle prop both. I like Lacerda by KO TKO a lot here, especially at the value that we're looking at. Now, the final the final dog of the night is not an official prediction dog, but it's a dog that we have to mention because stylistically, it's a matchup that could potentially favor him if he can stay on his feet here. David Onama versus Mason Jones. Onama's striking is nasty. High-level kickboxing game, has kickboxing experience, good straight punches. He fights Mason Jones. Late addition to the card. I like Onama. Plus 385. As an underdog, it's a good dog or pass type of fight. As widespread as it is, I think Onama could get, the big knockout stoppage upset. It would be a riskier play, but Onama inside the distance plus 480. We'll see what the KO TKO prop is in the weigh-in recap show, so make sure to tune into that UFC weigh-in recap. But those are the UFC dogs that I'm really feeling a lot here. There's definitely some possibilities of them coming through. Overall, this card's going to be fantastic. But let's jump over to Bellator. The Bellator dogs that we have here. The first dog of the night for Bellator is Gracik Bosnian, plus 120 to the minus 135 favorite. I like that plus 120 dog in Gracik. I do think he can win this fight, probably by a decision. It's not going to be an easy matchup. Could potentially get a KO TKO as well. Like just the straight money line bet for him. Don't really want to play with the props for that matchup, but I like Gracik for an upset in that fight. Now, another dog that I'm liking here, women's MMA, Katarzyna Sodura. I think she can beat Darina Mazurik. Even though Mazurik coming in with a good amount of hype, knocking out that like 600-pound guy, had that intergender fight. Katrina has a good amount of experience, wins over some legit girls. I mean, legit as in experience-wise. I guess not like the most high level of girls, but still valuable. Potential underdog right there that could come through. Lower level girls, Darina's fighting mostly debuting girls. So for me, I think that the underdog is a potential real casher here. Now, there's also, I'm going to call it the possibility underdog is going to be Brian Moore. I think he could potentially beat Nikola Makalivov. Not an easy fight, though. Makalivov is a very difficult matchup. It's going to be a real challenge for him to get the upset in this fight. But I do think he could potentially get it done. He could end up pulling off a nice little upset here. The value for it is plus 261 at best value. I like that plus 261 tag. I think Brian Moore is a potential play as well. Definitely some okay dogs here towards like the other fights. Sure, there's a possibility of upset with like an Aiden Lee. Possibility maybe even Bellick somehow comes through, but unlikely. I would say there's a lot more likelihood of seeing upsets with the ones that I've listed out there. Overall, though, good Bellator card as well. We'll have a fight companion for that, so super pumped for it. Good UFC main event, both cards. I mean, Saturday, we have a packed Saturday of high-level fights. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about the parlay portion. Of course, we got to do that legendary cross parlay. Let's look at it. What are we doing for this cross parlay here? Now, I feel like the one that we could get is Jai Herbert. You add in potentially Tim Johnson. Actually, good value bet would be Tim Johnson money line. That's something I meant to mention there. I do think a high possibility of a win. Now, with Vitaly Minakov and Saeed Salma, I'm going to add him in also as one of the locks of the night. I apologize for not saying it earlier. It's for the people that stuck around. They got to see it. You had Minakov on the tag right there, plus 272, Tim Johnson and Minakov. But let's say you don't like Johnson. Plus 104 for Minakov and Jai Herbert. I'm loving the potential plays here for a cross parlay. But let's say we added in Timothy Johnson as well. Let's say you even wanted Tokov, even though value wouldn't be all that fantastic coming back. So we'll take him off. Tabitha Ricci potentially comes through for us. Let's see like just a wild-ass cross play. And if we played Grant, plus 550 for this cross parlay. This is the cross parlay I like the most. It would be a risky one, right? 5 fighters. Normally you want to keep it 2 to 3 maximum. But a 5-fight Hail Mary maybe type parlay, but I think a likely Hail Mary here for this one. And I do think we could potentially get some nice cashing at us. Any dog that I'd want to really add to that parlay. I mean, you could potentially add in an underdog like Ike, would bring you to plus 1812. This would be the ultimate Hail Mary right there. If you added in someone like Ike Villanueva or one of the other underdogs. Definitely money to be made this week for the UFC and Bellator. Add Minakov as the lock of the night. Remember that. That is one of the additions here because I don't know if I said his name earlier on, so I do apologize if I missed it. I guess we'll go back and find out. But overall, fun card. Great parlay to potentially play. Money to be made. Fun Bellator. Fun UFC. Great main event for the UFC seeing Costa Vittori, though Costa said he's going to not be on weight. Not a good look. I don't know what's going to happen with that fight. I'm a little bit nervous, but I guess we'll find out. I'm assuming they'll end up doing a catch weight. Guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. I appreciate everybody for the consistent support. Much love to all you guys who tune into the show. Thank you all so much. Subscribe, like the video, turn those post notifications on, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.